There's no such thing as a cute enemy. Love it.
I don't know about that. Have you ever seen Ben Shapiro?
I mean, like, he could get it. He could get it.
He's so cute. You just want to pinch his little cheeks.
Stop it. That's how hey, don't touch my cheeks.
That's for my wife.
When she says I've been good. God, I think we're going to pivot into a whole role play podcast where we act as people in Ben Shapiro's life.
Honeys, we're home. Hello, and welcome to Sinclairity A Dinosaurs Tale. I am your host. We're gonna need another Timmy, along with my co-host.
Well, I'm old Ben. Hand up me. It's been a long life now. I'm all over the hill. I'm up and over the hill now, living in a retirement facility with my waffles and my kids. How are you doing, old Tim? Long time no see.
Let your kids into the retirement facility.
They're retired too.
So you're 50 years old, but your kids are also retired.
I think the best thing I ever decided to do was record one episode a year with you 50 years ago.
Yeah, we only do this once a year. Welcome to the annual recording of Sinclairity.
Yeah. Welcome to episode 50. What was that? My voice is all weird.
You were possessed.
I was possessed. If you haven't listened to our podcast before, this is Serial. And God, one day I'll learn what Serial's about so I can actually make a joke about it correctly.
Do you want to know what it's about?
Are we going to use part of our podcast now to talk about what Serial, the biggest podcast in the world, is about? Yeah, of course, what it was about.
Okay, so the only reason I know about it is because the host of Serial is a lawyer who also has a podcast about
legal.
No, she has a podcast about gin. Do you know gin? They're like, it's like evil
mind
spirits.
On my money and my money on my mind. Well, they're like the genies when they're like free genies.
Yeah.
Something
so she has a podcast about it, but she's also the host of Serial, and she's also like the lawyer who was trying to clear the name of the person that the podcast is about because he was wrongly accused of a crime.
Isn't that like what Making a Murderer is too?
Yeah, except this was first.
Oh, okay. Well, that's. I mean, I hope they do well. I hope people listen to them, check them out. Check out Serial. It's on.
You never heard it. You never heard of it. You know.
Yeah, a little upstart. We're trying to give them a little boost with our 48 listeners. But no, we're Sinclairity A Dinosaurs Tale. We have endeavored to review every episode of the 90s puppet sitcom Dinosaurs, dreamt up by Jim Henson and pulled together by Michael Jacobs and a bunch of money from Disney.
That's right. And our friend Bill Beretta.
Our friend Tim Doyle, who wrote today's episode, which is season 3, episode 13, Green Card.
Episode 13, Ben. That's bad luck.
Season 3, episode 13, bad luck. It's the 50th episode. I don't know, man. This is like when I get really stressed out, you know what I do though? I listen to some Sofego. Wow. I saw your Spotify. It says that you're a fan now of Sofego.
What a great transition there, Ben.
I know, thank you.
Yes. This morning, as I was getting into my car to go to the grocery store, and I was syncing up my Bluetooth little audio thing to my phone so I could play in my car stereo.
I love our tech talk segments.
I realized that my phone, or not my phone, my Spotify was connected to someone's Roku, not my Roku, and they were playing music by Sofego. And
right.
I got scared because I thought my passwords had been compromised.
So have we heard of Sofego before this?
No, but that's a pretty good name. And if you have that name and you're not a juggalo, I would be careful.
That's kind of what I want to get into right now. Is I'm looking at his Wikipedia page, and I ain't seeing anything about juggalos. He has the list of influences is Drake, Chief Keef, Lil Wayne, Chris Brown, Playboy Cardi, and Lil Uzi Vert. So he sounds like he sucks.
Is he like
He's a
like
huge
an
fan of
unsigned?
anime. He's on Cactus Jack,
unsigned?
Cactus Jack Records, which is owned by
That's a thing?
Yeah, Travis Scott founded it. He's a guy that I've never
Oh.
listened to, but I know that the kids like him and stuff.
Cactus Jack is mankind. That's Mick Foley.
Yeah, I was like, Mick Foley started a label.
I think that came up because didn't Travis Scott like name an album after it like that? Or am I thinking of something else?
Nobody knows who Travis Scott is. Hold on. Let me
Yes,
check.
they do.
I know.
Everyone knows that fucking Antidote song, which I didn't know it was called Antidote.
I don't know if I know it.
Don't you open up that window. That song. Everybody knows that fucking song.
I know one that's like Friday night. I was thinking that we just might. Oh wait, that's Tim Robinson. Never mind. That's a funeral song for his mama. No, Sofego. Yeah, I don't know who the fuck this guy is. No relation to fucking juggalos. It says he got famous from TikTok, and he has nearly 100 million plays on Spotify. You know why? Clearly, he's like has some like people are out there hacking and like turning his shit on people's fucking accounts.
Yeah, so
This happened with my friend in some weird reggaeton song that was thrown onto every playlist she had.
really?
Yeah, I think this is like a safe way to try to garner up small amounts of cash without people pursuing anything legally.
To get your plays up on Spotify.
Yeah, just fish a bunch of accounts using like a bot.
I heard that Spotify was trying to make that harder now for artists. Like I saw someone
making what
posted
harder for
something.
artists because they've already made a lot pretty hard for some artists.
I know, but there was someone posted something about Spotify like being shitty. Like we
It was Taylor Swift. This is years ago.
Yeah, no, that's you mean what that Tidal?
Yeah,
Talking about Tidal. That service that everyone uses, right?
I can't. Hey, I'm in talks currently to get us to be a Tidal exclusive podcast. So chill.
The Tidal, is that a thing? Tidal exclusive podcasts?
It can't be. I'm not even gonna look it up. It can't be. But yeah, Sofago's hacked your account, so that's good. We'll tweet at him later and like get that resolved. But hundreds of millions of plays somehow.
I don't know. It kind of scared me, but I changed my Facebook password because I believe my Facebook profile is associated with my Spotify account. I think.
So that means I'm going to have to, because I had a mnemonic device for remembering your Facebook password before, and it was, well, I mean, it was pretty easy because it was just Fred Durst sucks dick 420, and I thought it was weird. I thought it was weird. Like you like Fred Durst and you don't smoke,
but
weed.
it was in a positive way. It was in a positive
you know what?
way.
You know what? I never even thought of it that way.
It wasn't negative.
I just always forget because I think of him as like asexual because he like never got that nookie.
But he did.
He did.
Son.
He has a son.
Yeah.
You can get a son anyway. You find one.
I mean, yeah.
You think people wouldn't just give Fred Durst their son?
I would be Fred Durst's son.
Fred Durst is just standing somewhere and like Ben Stiller walks up with his kid and is like, "Here, watch this for me," and just leaves.
You are my favorite motherfucker.
Babysitting.
Do you know? Yeah. So, I don't know if you got the joke I just made, but it's okay if you did.
What, the favorite motherfucker Ben Stiller one, or did you say something after that? Yeah.
He says that.
Yes. It's like in the same thing I'm referencing.
You ever smell a dog and he just smells so bad?
Yeah, you have to bathe them, Timmy.
It's gross.
They're not cats.
He smells so bad right now.
Tim's just holding a dog, smelling its ass. Oh, I can't tell the difference between her ass and head. She's a his they.
Yeah. Not Jax.
No, Jax. Jax is a fucking non-binary name. Are you kidding me? That's so non-binary.
It's true.
Get that dog a frog.
Get that dog a frog stat.
Get that dog a frog in a noise project stat. This dog's non-binary. Jax.
It's a noise project that sounds like a frog. That's every song.
So it's like Bud, Y, Zer.
Yeah, just like that.
Do you get that reference? Since that's what we do now on this podcast. So we stop and ask each other if we got jokes.
Yeah. The Budweiser frogs.
The Budweiser frogs.
Way less obscure than a Limp Bizkit like B-side track.
You're my favorite motherfucker. Even if I didn't get it, you've said that on the podcast at least 3 times. There's no way.
Have I?
Yeah, that's your thing. I say there's certain things I've noticed I repeat. You know, the episode we just put out this past the Friday before recording this, I say new wave 6 times in a fucking row when I meant new metal, and no wonder like you start talking about new wave after that, and I was like, why is this what Tim's talking about? I'm making all these good new metal jokes, but you're just so quiet at the time because you're probably like, huh, that's weird. We were talking about POD cast, and suddenly Ben's on new wave.
I was like, what the fuck's Ben talking about?
I was so embarrassed.
I'm just going to let you go. Just go with it.
I almost made the title of the podcast episode. I didn't mean to say new wave.
Yeah. The whole time you were making fun of that very decisive Against Me album. It's weird.
What's great is that's what I was most concerned about, even though what I should have been concerned about is slandering Dan from Alkaline Trio, who did nothing wrong. It was Matt. That's the one with the questionable tattoos and shit like that. And like, my bad. Sorry, Dan.
Yeah.
Although I did concede that you were probably right when you mentioned Dan was recently on the Degrassi podcast, because Mike Park ain't fucking with no fucking he fucking with him in that way.
No. He might make a lot of money off Alkaline Trio, but he would not do that. I don't think he would compromise like that.
But me and my friend Katie found a Tumblr post about Matt Skiba earlier, and it was written by somebody who should not be taken seriously. I have to actually look into these claims because some of the comments were like just like so fucking bizarre, just like personally thinks they're rude to them or whatever. But then like one was like he watched a documentary about the Holocaust on his fucking birthday. That part's in all caps. And then in parentheses, or at least he posted about it.
I'm going to go out on a limb, Ben, and say that Tumblr is no longer relevant. So posts on Tumblr are even more irrelevant.
Look, I saw on your famous problematic post about why Stephen Colbert was problematic, and it was all literal quotes from the Colbert Report, his character. And they had that mixed in with just jokes he made as himself elsewhere. I'm like, oh, so they don't know what this. They thought somebody turned on the Colbert Report, just like this is fucking awful. Why is this guy saying these things?
Yeah, and then they watch Bill Maher, and you're like, oh no, what a wacky character.
What a wacky character. I think it's funny that Bill Maher got cursed by a witch and became Brian on Family Guy until he saw 100 Teats, because they're the same guy.
I watched a video today. Wow, we're getting way off topic.
Brag.
I watched a video of Ben Shapiro on Bill Maher, and he was talking about critical race theory, and the other person he had on the show was like an MSNBC commentator. I think he was in the Navy. I forget his name, but they were like arguing critical race theory, and at one point the opposing view was just like it's like how do you live with all the crap you say, Ben Shapiro? And Ben Shapiro was like, oh, I will live comfortably sleeping on my bed of money.
Oh my goodness.
While his wife lays there sexually unsatisfied.
I saw a series of hundreds of pictures of Ben Shapiro taking photos with people at an event.
I saw that
the
too, yeah.
The hand hover.
with all the women, but all the dudes, he's like, come here, man.
But then, like the first one where you can't see his hand on a woman, like you can't see his hand hovering. All the comments are like, "Where is his fucking hand? Where is it?" What a fucking trash fire.
Yeah, it's really bad.
But that we kind of get like some Ben Shapiro type shit in this episode of Dinosaurs, so it still remains relevant in a way. Because this episode, as we mentioned, it's called Green Card, and it was released in January 29th, 1993. That was my friend Scott Meadows' third birthday. Happy birthday, Scott. He does not listen. But yeah, and I think we briefly mentioned this earlier. This one was written by Tim Doyle, who has had 0 bad episodes so far. The only one who could say that.
Yeah, and I love it. The director was Max Tash, but I read it as Max Trash, which is also a Twitter handle or a non-binary.
Or non-binary. What's his name?
Max Trash.
One man's Max is another non-binary's treasure. Trash. Never mind.
It's a Max Trash is a Days and Days fan.
But yeah, the only little bit of thing, we haven't had Max Tash before as a director. He was a producer for WKRP Cincinnati, which is a sitcom filmed in Cincinnati, where I'm at for the next few days here.
That's where you're at. I was gonna say.
Yeah, I am. I'm playing a show later, and I sent a bunch of people a flyer, and a lot of people here just aren't here anymore. They're on vacation. One person's like, "I don't live in Cincinnati anymore." I was like, "Bitch, me neither. I live 12 hours away. I'm here. Come to the show."
You just played a show. That's why you're killing the town, as they say in wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, the show we did Tuesday at my friend's game shop was beautiful. There was a pig pen that we played in. You were right. You commented on it. It looks like a fucking pigsty.
No, I said it looks like a petting zoo.
Yeah,
a petting zoo, not a pig pen.
Well, it used to be a daycare, so that's even funnier. But no, it was perfect.
Kids, goats,
and we rented a generator for the show tonight. We're playing at a park, and we went and tested the generator out at my friend's house, and nothing exploded, so we should be good. Of course, I walked around going, like a rock, like a planet, and nobody knows what I'm doing.
You should have got a Tesla battery. I think you could run off of those.
So yeah, this Max Tash, he's a new guy. I don't know if he comes back, but Tim Doyle's back at it again. And you want a quick little summary for this, baby? You want a quick little summary? All right, this one isn't going to be a whole joke like every other episode. This is a real summary. I found online. The chief elder passes a law that forbids 4-legged dinosaurs from living in Pangea and demands in 24 hours they either marry a 2-legged dinosaur or retreat back to the other side of the swamp. Monica is fired and threatened with deportation until Roy proposes to her so she can stay. I just remembered after I said that, I actually wrote that one. That's the only one I've pretty much ever just wrote myself, because every summary I saw was like way too long. So we can just, in the episode, we just fucking covered it with that. Damn.
Yeah. So this is like a pretty it's probably still a trope in like modern sitcoms, but we've seen this in The Simpsons. There's an episode of Rocco.
The Simpsons one is problematic in retrospect, from what I understand. But yeah,
it's Marge and Apu, right?
Yeah,
yeah. But then there's a Rocco's Modern Life one where Rocco has to get married because he's Australian.
Who, Filbert?
I forget
Heifer
who he gets married to. It
Miss
might have been
Bighead?
Heifer. Honestly, that show is very queer coded, as we know.
Yeah. The movie didn't hold up, but
no.
I thought it was too welcome to Costco, I love you type shit. Couldn't do it.
Yeah. But so that's what this episode is, and I guess we can just get into it.
Yeah.
So we open on the Sinclair house. The Sinclair house, maybe it's just me, but it looked a little different. Like was it the actual set, or was it? I don't know. Why did it
must be the house, because you don't look different, so it's not you.
Okay.
I the syntax of the sentence confused me now. Yeah, I didn't notice. I wasn't paying attention though. I was just like ready to get to the meat, like I always am. I don't look at it enough. I'm typing the whole time.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
For all I know,
so
it could be a cartoon.
Fran is trying to get baby to eat, which seems like it shouldn't be that hard considering his eating habits.
Yeah, he's always demanding food. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's funny because she does, like the whole like instead of an airplane in a hangar or whatever else it is, she pretends the fork and the food on it is like a pteranodon, which is, from what I can tell, the same like fucking creature that scooped baby up in the episode where he ran away and tried to feed him to her hatchlings. So he should really get off on like getting his revenge here.
I was gonna say, do you think maybe he won't eat because he's petrified now?
Yeah, like he's like I know what would really happen if that was a pteranodon. Like
it's his trauma response is to not eat.
I feel that mine is to overeat, so we gotta meet in the middle somewhere. But yeah, I thought that was just an interesting thing. But this is mostly a scene set up so that Roy can come in and experience his daily dose of family bliss.
Yeah, he loves it. He's just like, oh, I love coming in early and seeing the baby and the domestic life.
Yeah, so I guess at this point in the series, we're to believe that Roy, I guess, just comes and picks Earl up for work, and sometimes, like, I think they like it seems like they walk sometimes, but sometimes Earl will mention driving and running shit over. So I don't know. We've still only seen them drive in one episode.
Exactly, and it always seems like he's never too far from his work. So
yeah, they've walked like plenty of times. Him and Robbie walked there that one night, and then like Earl like went inside and pretended to make out with himself or whatever, like, or really made out with himself pretending he was making out with Richfield.
Yeah, and then he just like moseys on over there like immediately. So.
Yeah, so it's not that big of a fucking distance, but yeah. So Roy's enjoying his little, he's a bachelor. He's a single man on the prowl. He doesn't get to experience this kind of stuff normally.
That's right. A paywall. And then enter Monica.
Yeah. Well, this is after beautiful. Roy gets his fucking face covered in fucking whatever baby's supposed to be eating too. So poor Roy, his his crush, let's be real, walks in and he's fucking covered in food. He's got egg on his face.
Yeah, but he doesn't even notice because he's just so infatuated. But,
yeah, Monica, vision in blue.
The blue, this Paul Baraboo lyrics.
Yeah, he literally like he starts saying something like, "Your loveliness is such that the bluest of blueberries would turn green with envy." It's like, I thought I could find you. Like it just sounds like some cheesy Paul Baraboo like strawberry fucking lyrics. I like it. I want to turn it into a Paul Baraboo song.
That's right.
He's not doing shit.
He's not.
He just gardens and like Instagrams.
He did like the art for the last Warm Thoughts record. That's it. That's all the music he's done.
We gotta do like a buddy comedy movie where we go and make Paul Baraboo do music again because we miss him.
It should be like a VH1 special.
And everyone's like, nobody knows who the fuck this is. We're like, he had a small part in a song that was in Juno. He sung it back. Paul Baraboo in Michigan. Was in it. No, he also sings backup for that 2 seconds of like the tire swing part, the swinging part.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you listen to it, you hear him sing along with her when she says that part. And I'm like, oh, that's his raspy ass Muppet sounding voice. He should be on the show. He sounds like he should be a Muppet.
Well, that's how we'll resurrect his career. We'll get him on here.
I gotta say, I stole that from Olivia because she says she always pictures him as a Muppet. Like the music videos should be Muppets.
That's what my mom said about my friend John Ross, really? The way he sang in his music.
That's amazing. That's a compliment in my opinion. That's why I specifically say Days and Days sound like South Park characters, because that's not a compliment. But yeah, so
energy.
Yeah, so Roy's throwing out a lot of poetry at Monica, but she just throws a fucking Hermione and Ron on the Hogwarts Express shit. Like, if you got a bit of dirt right there, did you know? And he's embarrassed. I don't think they're literally eggs because Monica's here to bring some literal eggs back. that she
It
borrowed.
looks like she just has I thought she was bringing in her her laundry. Like it looked like a dress.
No, but apparently she's returning eggs, which I assume maybe she bought new ones, or maybe she used them and then somehow returned them
so they can eat the shells because they're poor.
She laughs. But yeah, they're kind of discussing how the Sinclairs, the paychecks aren't going as far as they used to, and Fran's like, thank God you brought the eggs there, right? I didn't have shit to feed anyone this morning. An ungrateful baby squandering the food he's provided with.
I know. And Monica's like huge. She's got to eat a lot of food to stay alive.
It's just the tops of trees usually, but we'll see what happens when those disappear.
Exactly. Which is also okay. Yeah, we'll get into that. But like, anyway, so yeah, so basically, Monica is talking about how her friends are losing their jobs and the economy is like tanking.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course
Obama.
we get Mr. Salt of the Earth himself, Earl.
Yeah, this fucking asshole who overhears her exercising their freedom of speech. I'll have you know.
Someone running down our proud nation. Someone spitting on our glorious flag.
Must be Monica. So Earl hates her as he refers to it as unpatriotic, negative, left-wing wacko opinions.
That's right. He hates these snowflakes.
Like that people should be allowed to live and have food and be able to provide for their family. He's just like, you fucking, what is this Pinko comedy chair? It's bullshit.
Yeah, but like he says, it's our patriotic duty to just ignore our problems.
Yeah. Well, the chief elder said that if you don't think it's bad, it ain't bad. It's only bad if you think it's bad. So it's she says he's being delusional. He's like, yes, I am. That delusion has got us this far, hasn't it?
Oh man, this episode was great. By the way, I love this episode.
Yeah,
I didn't say that at the top, but all the rhetoric and stuff in this episode.
Yeah, it's
Tim
all
Doyle, you're a genius.
to give it its due, the specific line is and it's that kind of delusion that has made our country what it is today. Which is a great open-ended line. But Roy's actually worried about it, despite Earl's like obstinate nature, and he reminds Earl that Monica works like some, or Earl reminds Roy that Monica works a frou-frou realty job.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to. Matt Damon's kids need to write a letter to Earl to tell him not to say stuff like frou-frou.
I love this trend of celebrity children telling on them. Like this is like there was that thing with Kellyanne Conway's daughter or whatever.
Oh, or niece. I think it was niece.
Yeah.
On TikTok.
There's another one too with Matt Gates's like future sister-in-law. trying to like set her up with his creepy 40-year-old friend or whatever.
Jesus Christ. Fucking this delusion has made our country what it is today, though. So whatever.
I'm sorry I said his name on the podcast.
We don't say his name. His name was not Matt Gates. Wait.
Yeah, so while Monica's sitting back eating cookies and working her real estate job, Earl reminds Roy that their jobs are recession proof.
yeah, they work in like fucking, they're tree pushers. It's like a trade. Like they need it. Like what are they gonna do? Their jobs never.
Yeah, we'll never run out of trees.
It'll be like this forever, baby. The economy's never gonna sink. But yeah,
drill,
course,
baby, drill.
Of course, does the quick cut to at work, Richfield shouting, "You're all fired," and theme song commences. So yeah, this is once more. I feel like they get fired pretty often, but so we'll see if it sticks. Like it's one of those, there's like tropes about like different employees and shows, like Homer Simpson's one of them that like has spent plenty of times where he's been fired or should have been fired, whatever, and he's just there the next episode.
Yeah, well, the joke is that I love explaining jokes, by the way.
You gonna explain that Burns thinks that he's more dangerous if he actually does his work?
No, Burns doesn't know who he is.
That's true. That is part of the joke.
Yeah.
What was his fucking Smithers has to remind him all the time?
Yeah.
That's Homer
it's just
Simpson.
it's just like Vince McMahon. He doesn't know the people who work for him.
But yeah, so we do our cool little theme song, and we're back to more of Richfield. This is one of the episodes that they definitely pulled a lot of clips from for that Trump thing they did with Richfield.
Oh yeah,
we got him shouting wrong in this one, and like fired. Get out before I split your bellies and make tarpaulins out of you.
Yeah, and so he fires.
Do you know what that word means?
No,
it's just tarp. That's apparently the long form of the word tarp, like a blue tarp is tarpaulin.
Oh, Magitarp.
So Richfield uses splash. It has no effect.
Has no effect. And yeah, and then but Earl's just like, how could you fire us? Like it doesn't mean, how could you just leave us out in the streets?
And you can tell where he's going with this, because Earl asked if it's just one of his pluckish whims, and he's just like, what do you do for a living, Sinclair? And he's like, tree pusher, sir. Look out that window. What do you see? And it's a fucking wasteland out there.
Exactly. They got to work pretty fast there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that should mean, like, as Earl says, like, they cleared the whole subdivision, no tree in sight. They should be given they should be given privileges for that. They like did a good job. They should have like a next thing that's ready for them. Like Roy points that out too. Like, I think the whole point of businesses should be like to prepare for something like maybe running out of trees if your whole business is knocking down trees.
Yeah, but they don't care.
Yeah.
So
and Richfield just sees them as having outgrown their usefulness.
Yeah.
We've
so
been there.
He Richfield agrees to call the most tenured employees first.
Yeah, if they open back up in 500 years when the trees are back. That's the caveat.
Roy puts on his flogging Molly hat.
Yeah, there's power in the union. Let's go, Roy.
I think you mean Dropkick Murphys.
I don't know the difference. What do you mean?
All white people look the same.
Come on. People from like the fucking New England who I don't care about them. I don't care about anyone from New England. You heard it here first, folks.
And yeah, but it's funny though, because Roy is like puts on his hat and he's just like, it's high time the government steps in and start to regulate these big companies.
Yeah, which Richfield looks really terrified at first in this comment, but it's more like he's offended, it turns out, because he's just like, what? Regulations? Companies are never wrong.
Yeah, the company's always right and it's always your friend.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen the commercials. I don't know what Roy's thinking.
And then as a reaction to it, Richfield gets the Journal of Economic finger pointing, and it's the middle finger turned this way.
Yep.
Turned sideways.
And it's published monthly by the government, so it's real shit.
And of course, in the book, because it's published, it's from the government, is that the real source of our problems are other people.
Yeah.
Different from us.
Yeah, this is a trend that gets started here where they'll find a new like species or something to blame it on. But currently the issue is the four-leggers, There's a pie chart in the book. So like it has to be like real.
It's real data, just like the flat Earth. It's real data.
Yeah. Well, if the government published one of those monthly, I wouldn't believe it because I don't trust the government.
I mean, We Say So makes the globes, so
that's true. Shit. Shit. What about what? We Say So Fago. I'm starting to see a conspiracy there.
I think so.
Overlap there. There's some overlap.
So there's a lot of going on here.
A lot of and not a lot of reaping. Got to reap what you sow. But Richfield. Wait. So okay.
No, it's Turtle Puss who's like, he's like, the rotten four-leggers. I hate them because they're different.
Yeah. And they're talking about them insinuating themselves into our communities with their decadent four-legged ways. And like but Roy is of course still unsure, and Earl just is thankful that he's being provided with an easy target to focus on. Like
exactly. It's just a continuation of Nuts to War.
Yeah.
The whole
exactly.
sentiment here.
It's so weird that sitcoms like They don't learn anything, do they? It's like it's episodic in a weird way. It's like these dumb dinosaurs just go right back to normal every episode.
Well, they have tiny little brains. And so we cut back to the house, and we have a DNN report with Howard,
My daddy,
and
Papa Howard,
and he had a statement by the chief elders, and basically that it's all the four-leggers' fault.
Yeah, that was referred to as decisive action. It's just to say it's all the four-leggers' fault. And it cuts to that motherfucker talking about how provocative their necks are, and they undermine the two-legged family values tour, and how their ridiculously big feet wear down their paved roads, and their huge size has led to a collapse of our savings and loan industry. Don't ask how.
Don't ask me. Yeah, don't ask me how. Also, at his desk, he has a little nameplate, but it's not a nameplate. It just says the buck stops somewhere else, or it's like, or the buck stops elsewhere, or something like that. It's great. Something like that. Yeah, and Earl's sitting there with the TV, and
he shuts it off after that like announcement though.
Yeah, and Baby is sitting with him and is confused. He's like, but I got four legs.
Yeah. Because Earl's just like, no, those are hands up there. It doesn't matter if you crawl. He's just like, they're different than us, and different means evil. Like, that's all there is to it. Baby isn't evil. What's funny here is like, Baby's evil for sure. Baby evil. Like,
yeah, and Roy is, I mean, not Roy. Earl is he cannot simply discuss the race hatred with a baby. Like, there's no way that baby can understand that.
He does say that it's impossible for him to understand the finer points of race hatred, which is, I was like, somebody walked through the room when that line came on while I was watching. I was like, oh boy, I gotta explain a lot of context. Don't worry, he's talking to a kid.
Remember, it starts at home, folks.
Starts at home. It starts with one.
I don't know why.
Don't ask me how.
So yeah, so now that Roy and Earl are unemployed, they're just sitting around being males, scratching themselves,
watching fucking soap opera marathons and shit.
There's popcorn all over the floor. They're
just
making a fucking mess. Popcorn.
they have so much wine they don't even know what to do anymore. No, but yeah, so they're discussing the little fucking soap opera they were just watching, and then Fran kind of suggests, like, you know, Earl, you're fucking home now for like 4 days or whatever. Can you like maybe like help around the house since you're not working? But we already know, as like one of the most recent episodes we did, he hikes it up to 50% when she's sick, but that he's not going any more than that.
That's right. And of course, you know, he has the moral high ground. You know, he's like, the four-leggers took my job. Why would I take yours?
Oh my goodness. Earl is a feminist. You know what I mean? Earl's the kind of guy who would buy a fleshlight just to eat it out.
You know what's funny?
What I just said. Thank you.
No.
Go on.
The funny part is that Robbie is only in like one scene in this whole episode, and I figured he'd be more present, but I guess not.
I'm assuming Tim Doyle specifically was just like, it would be the same episode we've done every time. Like, if Robbie gets too involved, it's the most obvious like dynamic that there could be. I think they wanted to focus more on Roy not getting any action later, but
yeah. But so Roy's like, he's scared that he's not working. His bills are piling up, but Earl's just like, don't worry, the government will take care of us.
Yeah, he says that they're even bill collectors have patience in time like these. Wrong.
It reminds me when I went to the dentist the other day, and I was like, hey, I owe you guys money, and I was gonna pay that, and they're like, oh, you know, we're not strict about that. And it was just like, why are you lying to me?
They just don't want to talk about it. They're like, you'll get your bills.
Yeah. It was so nice of me to offer to just pay them. So Fran comes in, and their car is getting repossessed.
Yeah, but like Earl's upset, but he's more worried about the fact that they might come for the TV next. But
Yeah, but it's okay because the TV repairman comes in and he sets him up with the new TV programming by the government.
Well, he just tells them like there's no way they'd ever reproduce your TV because how else will he keep you docile and like fucking ineffectual or whatever? Like they need that shit to control the disenfranchised masses.
Yeah, which comes with Roy, where he's just like, Earl, he's like,
Forget about the recession.
Check out these
Love
new
it.
shows.
Fuck the economy, stupid.
Yeah, and we got so we get
A fucking Tim Doyle staple. Like,
oh yeah,
these ads are every Tim Doyle episode we get this kind of shit.
how could a family of 19 kids live in a giant big house with no father, no job, and no money?
Easy.
They're living on love.
Yeah, so you get living on love at 8, sticking together at 8:30, followed by silver linings and rose-colored glasses. So
great.
It's so optimistic. These lineups.
It's a single mom, but she's married to a ghost, and they're all ghosts.
And district attorneys. But yeah,
district attorneys, they're doing pretty good. I'm pretty sure.
Oh no, that house will be fine. But it might get egged a few times, so that's about it. But I do Monica pops into the kitchen and informs Fran that she's also now been fired from her job due to being a four-legger. So they got rid of all four-leggers at her office, which was her, 2 desks and a coffee table.
I missed that joke.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's great.
That's pretty good. But Charlene rushes in the room to tell Fran to turn on the TV, and then kind of adds like, "Oh, I guess you should probably watch it too, Monica. The person that fucking affects the most."
Yep, and we basically get the DNN report that four-legger people are illegal.
Yeah, they're illegal now. They're a crime days. It's like that Trevor Noah book about Born a Crime because it was illegal for him to exist when he was born due to his situation. Yeah. And now if he should watch this episode and really understand. This is why I hate these fucking race baiting episodes. They're like, it's so oversimplified, and there's people watching it just like, yeah, but my life kind of sucks in this country because of this shit. But Monica's the arbiter for what's going on.
Yeah, it's basically this is basically like exactly what's going on in Palestine right now.
Look, I'll let you know what's going on because I've decided I'm going to Birthright next year in Israel.
Oh yeah. Oh Ben, I didn't know you were Jewish.
It takes 1 year to convert. I've looked it up. I looked up. You can only do Birthright up to age 32. I'll be 32 next year. My friend Ben, who I'm staying with right now, he's his late 20s and he's Jewish, and we're just gonna go together, do a buddy comedy.
Just switch the name. Switch your name.
I told him like my threat that I give everyone lately is if like they won't like hang out with me or do whatever, I'm like, I'm gonna tell everyone you have a crush on Gal Gadot and Andy Dick.
Did you say Andy Dick?
Andy Dick and Gal Gadot, that's your celebrity crushes. That's my threat. I'm gonna start that rumor.
God, that's awful. That is awful.
It's a one true pairing of awfulness. But
yeah.
But yeah, I probably don't have the dedication to become Jewish. I'm probably not doing it.
Yeah. But much like what's going on currently is basically, so four-leggers are made illegal and they're just going to kick them out of their houses, and some other family like you, Ben, on your trip can just come in and be like, oh no, this is my house. Actually.
I'm a rogue agent. I have plans if we go. First thing I'm gonna prove whether or not it is real, because it's spelled that way, but
it's not real.
It's not. And then I'm gonna shoot my romance comedy, Palestine with a gal of mine, and then
don't mess with the Zohan part 2.
Oh god, I forgot that existed. The first one, I mean, the sequel to Love Guru.
So
yeah, you want to get to the part that I keep stopping you from getting to? No. What is this show? What are we doing again? I forget. So
basically, Earl is excited that she's gonna get deported.
He like comes in fucking stoked that she's getting deported. Like that's
so great.
That's so beyond. Like sometimes he just does things that are just beyond terrible.
Yeah, but Fran and Charlene are just like, no, this isn't. It's like it's not right. Like this isn't okay. And they basically are just like, the only way that Monica can get around any of this is to basically marry a two-legged person.
There's one other
Dinosaur.
option. Or be willing to undergo the necessary surgical alterations is one of the options. What the fuck?
Well, Face Off, starring Nicolas Cage.
Would it be like it'd be front legs off or something?
All she would have to do is just stand up.
Yeah, I was like, just hold like
Park.
a dinosaur treat above her head, like a dog.
Also, okay.
You're right, that does happen in Jurassic Park after the kids fall from the T-Rex chase. And there's that brontosaurus.
Let's get this out of the way. So
let's put this tiger on the table and yell at it.
Two-legged dinosaurs versus four-legged dinosaurs, right?
Okay.
Richfield, four-legged dinosaur. Triceratops.
But he's on two in the show. No, he sits. He never stands up, actually.
He's a four-legger.
I don't think
Charlene would not be.
But I had to argue with this because he should be a four-legger, but he's not. Charlene's a Protoceratops too.
Yeah, well, there are the one Protoceratops. They're not Protoceratops, but there's ones that do stand on 2 feet. But that's
but that's like seeing a teacher outside of school. That's not like, that's just weird.
That's science.
That's science,
and that's not real. So.
No, I gotta say that. Yeah, they really. I mean, the only four-legger we ever have seen so far is Monica. Correct? Like, they've been referenced plenty of times, but like, didn't they already do a whole war? Like, it's all resolved. Why is this happening again? Tim Doyle, get back here and talk to us about the fact. In real life, they don't do what like a World War II. Like, they don't just do it again.
They don't just do a sequel out of nowhere. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's implying that the
storyline.
That's implying the war was so good they needed another.
So Monica needs to get married, but she's just like, all the males I know are idiots.
Yeah, they're all pinhead gunpowders and present company included, Earl. But
and Billy Joe is just like, hey, don't you flatter me.
Fucking. I've been talking about Billy Joe too much today. I gotta breeze past it real quick. But I do like his he thinks that being called a pinhead is flattery, but like, honestly, like, Green Day is better than Pinhead Gunpowder. Let's just be real. 2 people know what the fuck we're talking about, and even they were like, it's kind of a stretch that you got it there.
Yeah,
just from the word pinhead being in the yeah, we did.
All that matters, Ben, is you get the ball to the basket or get the match in the ring. That's all that matters.
We are basically like in an automated rocket ship to space type shit right here. That's our thing.
Bezos. That's our name. Jeff.
J
Bezos. Is that what your password's been?
Yeah, my password's J Bezos, and then it's the numbers from that Jenny, I got 69. Your number song. No, it's 8675309. What do you mean?
Oh yeah. Okay.
No, my password is just Mike Jones's phone number from that Mike Jones song where he gave his real phone number out.
Yeah.
What a fucking hero.
But luckily we get a real hero, Roy, who speaks up, and very sincerely he's just like, I'll marry you, Monica.
Yeah, he at this point I wouldn't have been surprised if he was not listening the whole time and he was just thinking about marrying Monica and just brought it up. Like, he's like, I'd be honored if you'd be my wife, Monica. Will you marry me?
Yeah, he gets down on his knees.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh man, the Pledge of Allegiance must be on, Comrade Roy. But
also,
I'm a real American. I only need during the Pledge of Allegiance if I'm sucking Uncle Sam's dick. Am I right?
Yes. His Yankee Doodle dandy.
I'll give him a Yankee Doodle handy.
His macaroni.
I'll put a macaroni somewhere. But what macaroni in a pot?
Also,
yeah.
Roy's. Did you notice Roy's sweater, by the way, that he's wearing?
No.
It says beer drinkers make better lovers on his sweater.
Oh my goodness. Huh.
Is that
That's
true,
beautiful.
Ben? Should I convert?
Well, it takes 1 year to convert to a beer drinker. So 1 year from now, I will be Jewish. You will be a beer drinker.
What What if I start with Coors Edge?
This podcast is brought to you in part by Liquid Death and Coors Edge. Baby, those are both liquid.
Better lover, edging. Oh, that makes sense.
Anyway, as we Monica, Roy steps in to save the day, which is good because Earl was just threatening to just straight turn her in like an asshole. But she notes that it's a flattering offer, and Earl interrupts and says that he didn't mean a fucking word of it either. Like, Earl's not having this. Earl wants to marry Roy. He's not letting this happen.
I know, because as we'll see later, he gives him an ultimatum.
Yeah,
but
but like,
Charlene is so happy.
Yeah, she keeps saying how romantic it is, but like the whole point is like that Fran drives home with Monica, who is still apprehensive because it sucks in her position, is that if she doesn't marry Roy, she's just leaving and it's over and it sucks. But if she marries him, she can stay and fight.
Yeah, but also Earl is appalled because Charlene's like, oh, it's so romantic, and he's like, it's not romantic, it's disgusting. It's a crime against nature.
Yeah, he says they're gonna have kids with 3 legs.
He's an anti-vax.
Which is how Tim used to introduce himself to people. He's like, yeah, I have 3 legs. Yeah, that one, and then the rest of the leg of this tour that I need gas money for.
Like this. Like
like that
my microphone's on. Just like that.
Tim just held up a copy of Stephen King's The Stand. So I don't know what that was about.
It was it.
It was it. But basically Roy's being like a fucking sweetheart, you know. That's his whole thing. Like, Earl's telling him not to get caught into troubles or whatever. And Monica says she doesn't want to get caught into troubles. She also says she's being honest. She doesn't really love him, which I don't know why she thinks that's part of what's happening here anyway.
But isn't she like, wasn't she already married and divorced? Like,
yeah, she knows the fucking rigmarole. Like, it's not fucking worth it.
But Roy is again just being really sweet. He's like, look, I know I'm not your dream guy, but it's like, you need a friend right now, and you like me a little, right?
Oh my god, I can't wait till you use those in your vows at the wedding. Fucking amazing. It would be so good.
Hey, spoilers.
But yeah, so that throws that out, and Earl does say that he's fraternizing with the enemy, and Roy, the best line, she's not the enemy, she's cute. There's no such thing as a cute enemy. Love it.
I don't know about that. Have you ever seen Ben Shapiro?
I mean, like, he could get it. He could get it.
He's so cute. You just want to pinch his little cheeks.
Stop it. That's how hey, don't touch my cheeks.
That's for my wife.
When she says I've been good. God, I think we're going to pivot into a whole role play podcast where we act as people in Ben Shapiro's life.
Sounds hot.
It will involve a talking dog on the podcast.
That's definitely some OnlyFans content.
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
So Monica, complains about how fucking goofy he is. This is the part where she's like, yeah, you gotta fucking do it to fight. Doesn't matter how goofy he is. Look how, like, Fran's married to a fucking, like, Rush Limbaugh over here. Like, it's not a walk in the park. I gotta tell you, it's not a walk in the park.
But she tells her that, like, it's more important to just not let them bully her around.
Yeah.
And just like, yeah.
So she agrees to marry Roy, and he's like, hot dog, I'm gonna go call my mom. But he does call her every night, I think. He mentions that at some point.
It's true.
She's gonna be like, finally, I've been tired of hearing about this fucking woman for every day since she was introduced to the series.
Yeah, and this is
the Bourne ultimatum part. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, you can either stop saying fag, or it's our long-term friendship. No, it's a me or it's a Monica type thing. And of course, like,
it's a me, Monica.
Roy's already been barking up that tree for years. He knows they're only leaving Fran for him. So yeah, he's Monica for him.
He's given up on that. So it's good for him. You should move on. You should just move on.
But it cuts to their wedding, which is in the same room that they're already in the kitchen at the Sinclair house. And Earl's just in the other room watching TV while this is happening. This is gonna be your wedding. I'm gonna be looking through the door frame like, oh, I'm mad. because like somebody didn't bring boneless Cokes or something. It's a perceived slight. I'm just thinking of what I'd be mad about at your wedding. No boneless
Coke.
It's like, yeah, it's the kind that doesn't have calories or sugar. Zero Diet Coke.
I thought you meant the drug.
Bones. The bones are their money. Bones. Fuck my life. So Fran hears Earl yelling at the football game from the other room during the ceremony, and goes and tells him to turn down, and is appalled that he's not attending his fucking best friend's wedding.
Yeah, but then he says his new friend is Mr. TV because he'll never betray me.
Master Shake's friends with the TV.
You make Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Joe.
There's a part where they're like, they say they're gonna go watch it at Carl's house. They're like, you got Futurama over there? It's like nobody wanted it till we started watching it.
Hey, Fry Man.
Hey, Fry Man. It's a new era of loneliness. So Earl isn't attending the fucking Roy's wedding because he's a dick, and his new friend Mr. TV will never betray him, will never let him down, and this fucking starts shorting and crackling.
Oh yeah, he can't pay the cable bill.
And he won't do it with basic. He threw off the pit of death to make sure he wouldn't have to do that. Like
not basic girl.
Not basic girl. No, but I like that baby's job is going to be throwing rice at the wedding, which would kill birds, right? Bart does that at some point, but
explode. Yeah.
But I don't know whether to believe that or not, but I refuse to quit trying. But baby has a bowl of rice and just ends up fucking eating it because he's so impatient about throwing it. I feel
this is one of Issa's comments was that Charlie looks like a grandma in whatever dress she was wearing.
She's 16. She's a grandmother. But we're at the beautiful ceremony, and Roy reads his vows first, which you're probably gonna steal too, which is Roy S.
I'm gonna copy and paste these real quick. Hang on.
To be my wife, I promise to love you and honor you, yet, but strictly in a non-personal, non-intimate way, with no touching whatsoever. Okay.
Imagine living in a world where my wife wasn't a joke.
Where your wife wasn't a joke? I mean,
no, just saying the phrase in 1993, there was no joke associated with that.
That's what I want to go back in time. I want to go back in time and say my wife to Hitler.
Not kill him.
Oh, he'll die. He'll die.
Yeah, from laughter.
We're like, do a movie about that. I gotta say, just before we move on,
Nazi propaganda film.
Just to clarify, I never really cared for Hitler, so let's move on from that. But I'm a little quirky. I don't
Ben
care
only
for
likes the early works of Hitler.
Jesus. Yeah, Jojo Bunny or whatever it is. Hitler.
Metzkeeba loved that movie, by the way.
He watched it on his birthday.
Monica's never gonna get to see Alkaline Trio ever again.
Oh, it's okay. They mostly had bad songs, just some good ones.
Yeah, they're not really good anymore.
We had the Falcon. That's what we need. We can still follow Dan around as long as he doesn't listen to the podcast and know I suck. The other thing I said wrong is I suggested that Ben Folds 5 was a 4-piece, and they're a 3-piece.
They are a 3-piece. Yeah.
I brought that up to Katie. She's like, your joke still made sense there because it was about the 4th member of Alkaline Trio coming over or whatever. I'm like, yeah, but factually inaccurate. When I'm gonna get beat up at the next dork rock party for fucking nerd guys who play pop punk.
The dork rock cork rod.
Yeah,
party.
It's Justin Pierre from Bush City Soundtrack. It's Rivers Cuomo. It's Ben Folds. It's Mike Yerg.
It's an erg listening party.
Yeah, it's an erg listening party. Alienating our listeners at this party. But Monica does her quick little Monica de Vertebrae, take you, Roy, to be my husband. And she promises to like him and treat him with the same basic respect she'd show to any fellow sentient life form. Which is all you can ask for, honestly. That's better than I get, I get no respect.
No respect at all.
No respect at all. Imagine living in a world where Rodney Dangerfield never existed. That's what
You
Adam
should go
Sandler.
back.
That's what Adam Sandler did when he made fucking Billy Madison, the same fucking movie that he already made.
Kind of.
In a world where I don't have to come up with an original plot. Nah, big ups to Adam Sandler. I know he's listening. We love you, buddy.
Fuck you, Rob Schneider.
A true uncut gem, if you know what I mean.
I fucking hate you, Rob Schneider.
Yeah, fuck you, Rob Snyder. I want my money back. I gave you that $12 for a purpose. The purpose was never served. I want it back. But
South Park was right about one thing.
But yeah, Roy states that he feels like he's glowing, and by the power invested in who was the priest here? Was it like Turtle Pussy or some shit? I wasn't paying attention.
No, it was Needle Nose, I think.
Needle Nose. Oh, good old preacher Needle Nose. Father Needle Nose. But yeah, Monica hesitantly kisses Roy, and Charlene nearly cries at the romance on display. Baby burps up all the fucking rice all over everyone's head like confetti. And Earl is just peeping through the door frame like a fucking creep.
He's so mad. Big mad.
He's big mad. Big Earl. But now Roy would carry Monica over the threshold to his apartment, but couldn't accomplish it. So we're back.
Tiny arms.
Yeah, and she just like goes around and meets him outside puts her head through the window to meet him at his new apartment for the honeymoon.
He tells her that she'll have to move, but only on Tuesdays and Fridays when they clean the street.
Jesus Christ. So
anyone who lives in New York can relate to that.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be listening to this. They're too fast paced, their lifestyles, you know.
Yeah, and they can't listen to it on the train. There's no Wi-Fi.
They could tell that we haven't had real bagels in years because we haven't been in New York, so they can't listen to it. But yeah, they're where the magic happens. So Roy's giving her, he's like, "This is my pad. It's formerly known as Babe Central, and if these walls could talk, let me tell you." She wants to know, but he won't elaborate.
No, it would just be him talking to his mother. That's what they would be.
Just a bunch of phone calls with his mom.
Yeah.
Playing solitaire on the floor.
Mom, do you love me?
Mom, are you mad at me?
Mom, are you
didn't answer. You didn't answer.
Are you proud of me, Mom? That joke is for Matt, who's not listening to this.
Good. Fuck Matt and his friend Matt Skiba. But yeah, what if this would be a really weird joke if we clarified that like Roy's mom was a skeleton on the armchair?
Like the guy from the pit of death. That guy.
Yes, like that. Mother, I have to do bad. I have to do evil. But so Roy gives Monica the tour and he lets her have the bed, and he's like, I'll just find some other shit to like lay on
the coffee table.
I bet he stole that from her work when she got fired.
Well, wasn't all his stuff Earl's anyway? Like all the stuff in his apartment?
Yeah, it was. I would have brought some more stuff, Earl, but then my apartment would be empty. But yeah, of course, Monica is just like, why don't you sleep on the couch, you fucking idiot? Like, he's the options he chose to sleep on. He's like, it's like he's on tour.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's like, I would never thought about that. It's great to have someone look after you. Which I think,
and I love it.
What?
I just love that it's like, okay, it's time for bed, and like it's like she's still standing outside, but she just lays her head down on the pillow. Mm-hmm.
Here's what I'll tell you, Tim. I'm a few feet tall. I'm 6'5". That's what using any bed smaller than a king is like for me.
You know what that means, ladies and days.
That I sleep outside.
That's right. Max Trash. Here he is. Max Trash.
Hey. We're doing a whole re-imaging thing for my PR campaign. I'm Max Recycle now. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. I'm just saying. Just saying. Some people are just better than others. I'm just saying.
That's right. Some people live in trash cans. Some people live in whole dumpsters, you know?
Yeah. Some people...
Those are called colonizers. The people who take the dumpsters.
The people who take the dumpsters are colonizers. a lot of it's prison labor now. So I don't know.
The houseless hierarchy. Yeah.
Yeah. I hate houses, but I think everyone should automatically have one.
I hate that show House.
I hate that show House. Fucking what? He's British in real life? Get out of here!
Boo!
Boo! Fucking whole country full of people eating weird shit. That's all I have to say.
Beans for breakfast.
No peanut butter ever.
It's gross.
Beans for breakfast. What is this? Fucking Misfits? Beans for breakfast. Beans for lunch. Beans for dinner. Beans for brunch. That's what it's about, right?
I don't know what you're talking about at this point.
Oh, it's like a song by Misfits about eating beans. Oh, it's fucking brains. I'm so stupid. I forgot they were like that. But Richfield the next day.
Stupid.
Wait, what?
Stupid.
Hey. Be nice to me.
I'm not being nice to Doyle.
Oh yeah, Doyle. Tim Doyle. He's doing his best.
Oh my God, is Tim related to the guy from the Misfits?
Danzig?
No, Doyle.
Doyle rules from Billy Madison. You peck on that? Fucking God. We need some. What do we need to coke? We need to rope it in. You rope it in. We're getting there. I'll fucking you rope me all day. But Richfield. Okay. Anyway. So Roy says
we are off the hinges today.
Roy's going to be a primary breadwinner, so he needs to get to bed early, and it makes Monica uncomfortable. But Roy assures her that friends can help friends without meaning anything. He says that now, but like he's going to be posting on Facebook in 2 weeks, like women are only after one thing, and it's that money. Like he's going to be disrespectful.
Four-leggers only care about one thing, and it's disgusting.
And it's three-legged children. But we get cut back to Mr. BP in his office, and he's like, I guess you're all wondering why I called you here. I'm wondering myself because I hate the whole stinking lot of you. But the company's unveiling some new jobs, a new jobs program to help keep these bloated slobs off the welfare rolls during these difficult economic times.
Yeah, like it's just kind of like today, Ben. Like if they would pay people like more or whatever, they would stop being lazy. Like people just
that's factual.
Just living off of everything. That's crazy.
Just literally factual.
Well, they don't care about your feelings.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't listening to you. I'm watching the No Spin Zone. Watching old episodes of the O'Reilly Factor in the background. That's just factual. And Ludacris should not be the spokesman for Pepsi. You're right. You're right. Anyway,
so Richfield. So just like every regular politician, Richfield's basically just like, hey, look, I got a new job. We're going to build a wall. We forget about your problems.
Yeah, they go straight to building a fucking wall, a floating wall. I'll have you know that floats on water.
On a swamp.
On a swamp. It's not a swamp. Or is a swamp? Which one did you say?
My swamp.
My swamp. But Earl is worried that this will be like exceedingly dangerous because it clearly will be. But Richfield says that it won't be because they will have a shit ton of extra employees to help with the process. And,
and plus
Mexico's going to pay for it.
I mean, the four-leggers.
I said what I said.
Yeah, so they're going to build a wall in the middle of a swamp to keep out, all the bad foreigners.
Yeah, four-leggers, foreigners, same thing.
But like conveniently, Roy just comes back in, just like, "Hey guys, y'all hiring?"
Yeah, of course, Richfield does consider him a sympathizer and a security risk, and he does not like the Dropkick Murphys or Flogging Molly or Flatfoot 56 or whatever else it could have been from earlier. Street Dogs, who knows?
He hates the unions.
Yeah, he hates We Are the Union, so we wouldn't let him on our podcast.
Not at all.
But yeah, which is what's funny is this could have easily tied back to the episode where Earl was supposed to become a union buster when they needed him, but they didn't get into all that. Back when he was hanging out with the Seinfeld guy.
Nope.
But yeah, he's worried they'll sabotage the project, and Roy's just like, all right, I guess I'll just be going then.
But then Earl He's just like, "Gee, sir, I couldn't help but notice how brutal and heartless you were just then."
Thank you.
But Earl is actually being like a friend. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say a good friend, but he's
No.
being like
He
an
will,
acquaintance.
when necessary, he'll almost make 50% of the effort.
Yeah. And he's like, "Hey, Roy has a family. Like he needs this job. Like he needs a job."
Yeah, and Richard's like, "How about you join your friend on the fucking unemployment line then, you lazies?"
Yeah, why don't you collect unemployment instead of working at McDonald's for $7.50, you piece of shit.
Piece of shit. You're lucky that you're alive, according to us for now.
You're lucky you can even get that $7.50.
You ever just think like our government just kind of fucking sucks? Like I'm just thinking about it right now. I know like we're being serious and we think that poverty is fine because I like being poor, but like the government just kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's pretty weird in 1993 to think like this, you know?
They don't even have like, from what I understand, is there's like not even like one of those, like in the Oval Office, they don't even have one of those like little basketball games that you should do over and over and the points go up. Not even one.
They don't.
No,
they don't.
Winston Churchill stole it.
Yeah, they just have a button for Diet Coke.
They have, okay, well, I think I'm going to become president then. I think
you mean
that's what I wanted. I was reluctant. my camp people have told me to do it, but I've been reluctant. But based on what I learned about this Diet Coke, boneless Coke, by the way, we're rebranding. But here's Earl's. We gotta say Earl's a little punk and like does not join his friend on the unemployment line. So instead, he stays on board with we say so.
No, just like when he. Yeah, exactly. Like when they wanted him to union bust. Mm-hmm. It's just he doesn't.
Which is what happens when you listen to the new We Are the Union album and enjoy it too much. But we get another DNA report on the TV of the kitchen of the Sinclair household. 2 employees have already died during the wall construction because of some heavy stones and shit. It's sinking and falling, and they're all like, "Shit, that could be Earl." Which is like, okay, who cares?
Yeah, and this is the only
episode. We need Ethel.
Well, this is the only part where we get Robbie is actually in the scene.
Oh, that's the conduit for Ethel then. Yeah, he does make a snide comment about the government fucking up like usual. But I would say that Ethel would be great here to be like, you know, when they are worried that Earl could be dead, like she'd like, you're just used to him. Like that's so true.
but of course we get those people died, but some 4-leggers, they helped the poor 2-leggers. Like,
it was the onus was on them to prove themselves as not
Can you believe it? Wow.
They kind of like these, you know, like the writing for these is specifically because they just know like you have to be so gentle with like white people and passing a message to them. Like, because if there's at any point they're like watching it, they're just like, but I look good, right? Like I didn't have to. I look good, right? At the end, okay, cool. I didn't have to do nothing. Like it's like that. What is that movie? Like Crash or whatever the fuck that one is, where the maid saves Sandra Bullock's life, so she's no longer as racist or something. Like
it's just not my black friend said it's okay.
Fuck you, Sandra Bullock. I'm just playing. It's just her character. I don't know the difference. I thought Tobey Maguire could spin webs for so long.
He can. Webs of lies. That's right.
Okay. But yeah, so they report now there's like everyone's like there's enough to share for our friends and people we care about, and like fucking the ban on 4-leggers is gonna end, and like everyone it's just all it's beautiful now, you know.
Yeah, and even Earl got saved by 4-leggers, so he likes them now.
Yeah, exactly. He's Sandra Bullock. And the public now believe that the government is 100% to blame for the bad economy. So luckily, probably that new issue comes out, and they address that concern because
it's like upside down now instead of sideways.
As of today, we are officially repealing the anti-4-legger laws. I guess, and then of course, Roy and his marriage is ending, which I mean, it sucks. It was cramping his style anyway, but
exactly. He couldn't call his mom every night.
But he does segue this marriage into a possible date in the near future. Like she said she'd like that to go see a movie with him. I want to see what the fuck that's like, her at a movie.
She's going to drive in.
Don't they do that in like the Flintstones like theme song or some shit?
Don't they watch a drive-in movie? Right?
I think
Is that
so.
what-
So it'd have to be like Monica's just there taking up the whole
Yeah.
fucking
But it wasn't a movie. It was just a cigarette ad.
yeah. Smoke them, smoke them, smoke them if you got them. So yeah, they have to pass the blame though. That's the whole thing. We're ready for it.
Mhm.
And you know what? I think it's fucked up. I think they've been listening to the podcast because they decided to go with the frog family, amphibians.
It's fucked up.
These
Yeah.
non-binary phobic people at dinosaurs.
It's very, very, very homophobic.
Yeah, because frog and toad are gay, so it's like homophobic against them. Are
Yeah.
toads are amphibians too, right?
Yeah, they're like the same.
I'm so bad at any science, and I believe such fluff that you could be like, somebody could be like, well, it's weird though. Toads are actually more bird than frog. And I'm like, what? Like, it sounds weird. So
Dinosaurs?
it must be true. It's like when people are like, cold water boils faster than hot water, and people are like, that sounds cool. But no, why? No, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. I'm just saying, I know a lot of people think toads are birds, and they're not.
You know, when you look up and there's a plane, like, where's it going? Why is it curving?
Dogs can't look up.
That's crazy.
Dogs can't look up.
Dogs?
They can't look up.
Well-
Let me finish the sentence. Things on Google because they don't have fingers to type with.
Yeah, they go. Bop, 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 bop.
Yeah, which is that's copywritten by keyboard cats. They can't do that anymore.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah.
But so yeah, they got the amphibians. I like who are these guys anyway? Breathe air, breathe water, make up your mind. But Earl's
just
learned
can't
his lesson
decide.
for 5 seconds, like at the end of every episode, and it's just like tells the TV to shut up.
Well, yeah, the only thing that made him non-racist was being saved by by a minority.
Yeah, it's like the movie, like they just had that Oscar bait movie Green Book like a few years ago that had the same exact premise of like it's always like in the perspective of like the white like savior, and it's so I'm gonna say it's
Awful.
a little faggy.
Fago.
I can say that. I don't have kids that can write me letters.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm fucking Ben Affleck. I could say it.
Speaking of which, the next episode's called Out of the Frying Pan.
What's that have to do with fucking Ben Affleck? What did I miss?
All I was thinking of was that Lawrence Arms song where he's like out of the closet and into the fire.
What is that speaking of Ben Affleck?
Frying pans.
What the fuck are you talking about? Frying
Anyway,
pans.
this episode is
No, hold on.
racism.
Tim, tell me what just happened. I'll let it go.
don't know.
Time. I'll let it go.
I can't.
Tim has had so much Coors Edge today. It's like a placebo effect.
It's hard to break the edge, you know.
You gotta dull it first. But yeah, so they end the episode by going to have some dinner with their friends, and it's all grand, and everyone's not racist anymore.
Yeah, racism is solved in the dinosaur world.
Yeah, and the show Dinosaurs, Obama was president in 1998. I know he was too young, but he was president.
93.
No, not this year. It's still 5 years before they can get there. Like first they have to have a four-layer president,
which they never will. I don't think that will happen. The world's just not ready for that, you know.
Four-layer president. They got four-legged mares. They got dog mares.
But they can't use Google. So
Yeah,
how are they gonna run a town?
I'll tell you this. That Bill Clinton was a dog. He was a president.
Woof,
I'll tell you this too.
moo.
Teddy Roosevelt kind of looked like a dog to me. He's a president.
Cute little puppy.
that hired guys to fight him in the Oval Office. That's a dog move. That's a dog move.
That's pretty sexy.
Pretty sexy. That's pretty sexy. Do you know about that? He paid people to fight him in the office, and then he was told he wasn't allowed to do that anymore. So he said he was getting private rowing lessons and hired oarsmen, and then fought them in this office.
Still pretty sexy, Ben.
I know. Other than all the terrible things about Teddy Roosevelt, pretty sexy. Pretty sexy.
You know he saw Bigfoot, right?
I don't believe you. Did he really?
It's true. He saw Bigfoot.
He saw Bigfoot?
Yeah.
He gets to have all the fun.
Yeah.
First fights oarsmen in his office. Second, he like drugged these like people that were breaking into his cabin through the snow like hundreds of miles to get him arrested. And then 3, he gets to be dead. And then 4, he got to he was related to FDR. I don't know if they ever hung out though, you know.
And also he started the Rough Riders. Did you know that?
Rest in peace, D.
And that's what that song's about. Rough Riders anthem.
I'm gonna make you fight this Oarman up in here.
I'm gonna kill some people that are in Spanish territories.
I just got shot. Gonna finish my speech.
I got a big stick and I speak softly.
I'm in a wheelchair, and here's the new. Oh wait, that's FDR.
That's his cousin, who he might have hung out with. We're not sure.
FD stands for Fool Dog Roosevelt.
Woof woof, moo moo.
So yeah, that was a little sample of our podcast cereal.
That's what it's all about. Fruity Pebbles is the best, right?
I'll agree, but I can't eat that shit anymore. But when I was younger, no. I like Cinnamon Toast Crunch more if I'm really getting into it. But I wore that shit out. I ate it way too much and then couldn't for a while. Fruity Pebbles though seems like a lot if you really think about it. That sounds painful. I'm old. Like I'd have to cut those pebbles in half, buddy.
I saw a in the wellness vitamin section of the grocery store today, where I get my protein powder.
Didn't even know one of those existed. I've never been there.
They have a protein powder that is Fruity Pebbles protein powder.
I gotta say, I'm anti-teen. I want anti-teen powder. Anyway, it's called cocaine, buddy.
It's the vanilla flavor.
I gotta say, as a unbiased opinion, pretty dumb podcast. But I love it.
Well, thank God we're Tidal exclusive, so
I know
no one hears this.
But Rihanna, isn't Rihanna on Tidal or something? She's
music is also on Spotify, Ben.
Yeah, but she just became a billionaire.
Yeah, because her music's on Spotify. That's why. People
are like, eating the rich now. It includes Rihanna. I was just like, it always did, baby.
They're all bad.
Anyway, this is the part where I have to apologize because we don't bring this up often. Me and Tim are cousins. Our dad is Jeff Bezos. Yeah, we're cousins with the same dad. Fuck you. Don't judge us. People are always judging us. They're like, your dads are the same and your cousins. You're new money. You drink new Coke. And we're just like, get out of here.
We don't fuck with no new money.
Yeah, no new money. Yeah, when I go to the gas station, I give him $20 or something. He start giving me money back. I'm like, no new money. You keep that.
All our dollar bills have the huge faces, not the little tiny faces. That's garbage. Throw it out.
That's gonna be when we run for cousin presidents. We're gonna be cousin presidents, president cousins, and then
president cousins.
And one of our platforms is gonna be like make the faces bigger on the monies.
Aren't most of the politicians that have been in office, aren't they all somewhat related somehow? Isn't that a thing?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I mean, besides Teddy Roosevelt and FDR.
Let me tell you a little something about the simulation we live in. There aren't that many unique individuals. It's a recurring cast of extras out here, Tim.
Oh, yeah.
Mitt Romney is JD from Scrubs. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it.
I can't. Allegedly.
That they both do that thing where they talk to themselves in their head all day. And I had to remember that Mitt Romney is still an active politician, and it's not as funny anymore that I know that he's still out there doing things. These people shouldn't. This shouldn't. I'm not going to elaborate anymore because I don't want to be You know,
I hate I hate it every other day when I'm reminded that Rand Paul is still in office.
what a fucking world. Like, that's how you know it's a simulation, where they're just like, they typoed when they made Ron Paul the second time. And they're just like, keep it.
Also, Clarence Thomas is still on the Supreme Court too.
Jesus
Did
Christ.
you know that?
Yeah, because you know why? Because they do that till they die or they choose to leave.
Yeah.
And they don't, which is the dumbest fucking thing in the world. It makes no sense.
It doesn't. Imagine living that long and your like views never change ever.
Just imagine like any situation where you have to choose someone that will do something, and then it's like until they die or decide they're not going to. I would get nothing done because I'm like, no, eventually they're gonna fuck it up. Like,
good thing I'm a judge. You can't change my mind about anything.
No, we're cousin presidents. You can't mix this up.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fine.
But it's cool because I have a plan, and I'll tell you, it involves Jesus, and that's all that matters. So
it involves Dunkaroos.
No, it involves Jesus. It involves finding us on Twitter and Instagram at A Dinosaurs Tale. It involves emailing us at sinclaritypodcast@gmail.com. And
that's right.
And check out our fellow union busters. We got Jer from We Are the Union and Scotland Network. And by union busters, let me clarify. Busters, you were down with the union.
Bussin'.
That's bussin'. Right. Yeah. And then speaking of bussy, we got Zach George doing our production and shit, having his own little podcast that's like really good. And I hate how well it flows. Oh, it's so good.
He's so cute with his little podcast there. Aren't those boys cute? Aren't those boys cute?
Did I get to mention last time I don't think I thanked him in the podcast for saving my life that one time recently where I couldn't move a couch. Zach.
Oh, Zach.
Yeah. I couldn't move a couch with my friend's dad, and had to text Zach and be like, I don't know what to do. And he's just like, all right, I'm on my way. And then I had to watch him spend 30 minutes carrying this heavy fucking dresser, and I felt terrible. But thank you, Zach.
Zach is a father to more than just his own children.
Yeah, I call him daddy every day.
Every day?
Yeah, every day. But,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I have a lot of stamps. I just send a letter each day. Well, okay, I'll be honest. I put a stamp on the outside of a Swedish Fix box, and I write on it "Daddy," and I send it to him. Fuck! I should have been putting his address on it. Fuck! Who gets those?
Yes. No, you've been putting. I believe you've been putting the president's address on there.
It would be no different than how many times I've tried to mail stuff to Mark Zuckerberg without success. So. Photoshop pictures of us walking together and stuff.
Why would you talk about our uncle, Mark Zuckerberg, like that?
Yeah, our uncle brothers, Mark Zuckerberg and the Napster guy, Justin Timberlake,
that ugly Napster guy.
And thank you to Amy Shenanigans for helping us with this logo and this beautiful artwork. And thank you to everybody for listening to us. These past few episodes, I've been out of town and kind of scrambling stuff together to be able to record in unique spaces. So it's been fun though, and I'm glad that we're still able to keep up with it.
That's right. But, and I haven't done anything.
Tim's just the same, living the same life. Looking a little hotter every day. Just gonna say, but like that's just to be expected because Tim had a very extended awkward face.
My whole life.
Tim went through so much puberty.
Too much.
Too much. Step on the brakes. But yeah. So yeah. Hit us up on all the socials. Come back and hang out with us next week because we're gonna be doing a fucking episode that apparently has something to do with Ben Affleck, but Tim won't let me know his secrets.
I don't know anything about Ben Affleck.
He's with J-Lo again. That's all I know. Season 3, episode 14. He must have seen her in that movie Hustlers and was like, Jesus Christ, damn.
What did I do wrong?
He's like, fuck.
That's why there's that.
Yeah. What's up? Oh, hey, what's up?
Hi, sorry.
Yeah,
Also, how do you
you're good. All right. All right. And then, we'll see. Next week we're doing Out of the Frying Pan.
Pay that person, do we?
Yeah, we do have to pay anyone who is in the background of the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna need you to send me $20. I'll make sure it gets to the right person.
You're gonna have to pay Jax.
You can cash app us at Jeff Bezos Jr.'s.
You can pay for Jax's frog paraphernalia.
And we're gonna get Jax a binder. Love you, Jax, you smelly asshole. But yeah, so speaking of smelly assholes, we'll see you all next week.
That's right.
Is that what we decided to call our listeners?
The smelly assholes.
Up till now, I've just been calling them until they block my number. But we have to have some.
I believe it's called Jake Gyllenhaal.
All right, we'll see y'all, Jake's the Snakes, next week. Later, Vader. All right, goodbye. Have a good extinction.